Hello, welcome to J Notes. I'm Jansi, crochet maker and designer. If you're the one who is looking for some constructive content and crochet creations, then this space is for you. Hello friends, welcome back. Today is day 24 of 30-day video challenge, and it really feels surreal that I had continuously kept up this challenge by shooting a video every day without taking any breaks, irrespective of all the hurdles that has popped up through the journey. And this journey has really taught me many things, and it has helped me improve in many aspects. So I would like to share all of those on the 30th day of video challenge, and I'm super eagerly waiting for the 30th day so that I can share all my experience and learnings that this journey has given me. So now let's quickly hop up to today's to the topic of today's video. So generally in life we tend to follow certain tips, tricks and hacks that would help us keep things organized, or that would help our daily activities go smoother. So similarly, I have followed few tips and tricks that has helped me, or that I have gained through my crochet journey, and which these are the things or tips or hacks that has helped me personally to keep my crochet process smoother. So here I'm going to share all of those tips and tricks that has helped me to you all today. Let's go check out. Let's look at hack number 1. How to carry the yarn along your work. So we usually tend to keep our yarn behind like this and go working, so like this. So instead it would be better if you can hold your yarn on top of the stitches like this, like this. That will help the working carrying yarn to be covered very much better rather than holding it behind the work. So if you can keep it on top of your stitches like this, that will help your yarn not to be seen much. So that is hack number 1. Hack number 2. How do you carry your carrying yarn along the sides of the work? So I've come to the end of the work. This yarn is my carrying yarn, and how do I carry it to the next row is just by twisting it up with the working yarn. How do you do that is just by this is my working yarn and this is my carrying yarn. I am just going to twist it up like this. It is like now it is like this. I am going to twist it up like this, like how we twist up a row. So that will keep the sides of the carrying yarn more secured, and turn your work and continue to crochet. So just that twist at the end of the row will help the carrying yarn sides to be more secured than otherwise. So yeah, that is hack number 2. Hack number 3. How do we secure the tails as you work along? So this is the tail that I have. How do I secure it as I work along without the necessity of sieving in at the end of the work? So I have come to this stitch I have carried this tail halfway through the previous row, and now in this row I'll just grab it and carry this tail also along my carrying yarn. So that way it is secured in both ways, this way and this way. And at the end of the row, at the end of the row. Before finishing the last stitch, we will just twist we'll take both these carrying yarns and twist it up like this, and continue to work and carry it along like this. So now I'm carrying both the yarns, the tail and the carrying yarn, along the row. So I'll continue to carry the tail for a couple of stitches here and then drop it behind and strip it off so that it is secured. So I have made some couple of stitches. I'll drop the tail behind and strip it off. And continue to carry the carrying yarn along the work. So this way you may not need to sieve this tail again at the end of the work. So this will help us save lot of time, especially when we are working with too many colors of yarns for the same project. So this is a very useful tip. This has helped me in many projects to save lot of time. So we have covered 3 tips. Now let's go to the 4th one. So how to get the seamless joining when we are working in the round. So here I'm working in the rounds. I'm come to the end of this round. I'm going to slip stitch into the very first stitch of the round. So when you slip stitch this, if you can pull it tighter and close this slip stitch, so now the stitch that you have slipped is not visible, it is completely closed here. So that simple step, just by pulling it tight, will help you or will give you the seamless joining. Even the chain one that you usually do to bring up the yarn can be pulled slightly, so that you will get very much seamless joining when you're working in rounds. So yeah, if you can see and compare, this is the one which I haven't pulled it tightly, I've just left it as such, the slip stitch, so you can very deliberately see the joining in this work, and here you don't get to see the joining much. So this is where we have joined the round, but it is not very much seen here. So that is one more hack. 4. Let me show you the 5th one. How do you secure the loose yarn balls? So this is one of the tips that I've picked up from internet. They've used tic-tac pins to secure the balls. Since I had this handy, I'm showing you with this. So you can use these pins to secure your loose yarn balls, so that they don't come out and get tangled when you store them together. You can use either these clips, or you can use tic-tac clips, or just a normal bobby pin will do. So this is a very useful and much needed hack when it comes to yarns. Let's go to the next one. So next tip that I have regretted using during my initial days is using the safety pin for the stitch marker. So many of them have suggested to use safety pin for the stitch marker, which has left me in trouble many a times, because it would get the yarn would go and get stuck into this tiny loop over here. So I highly recommend not to use safety pins for the stitch marker. Instead, you can go ahead and use a piece of thread like how we usually do. You can just take a piece of thread and go into the stitch that you want to mark and keep it like this. So this would be a better stitch marker, or you can use bobby pin either as a stitch marker, but not the safety pin. Safety pins will make your life so much stressful at times. So yeah, you can go ahead and use bobby pins or the thread if you are not having a stitch marker. So that is one more tip that I would like to give. And the next tip is tip number 8 is use one size higher hook to make your base chain. Then say suppose if your yarn suggesting say suppose 2 mm hook for any particular work that you're going to do, or if you want to use 2 mm hook for your work, then go ahead and chain with 2.25 or 2.5 mm hook, only the base chain. One size, you just take one size higher hook just for the base chain, so that your work will be in right shape. Sometimes we tend to chain it tighter and our work tends to slightly curve up. So that is one more tip I would like to give, that whenever you are making a base chain, try to use one size higher hook than the hook that you are using for that particular project. So that is tip number 7. And tip number 8 is try and make a note of every detail of the particular work that you are doing. So what kind of yarn you are using, what is the size of the hook that you are using for your base chain or your normal work, or for the ribbing part of your work, if at all you are doing ribbing. So in certain projects we use different size hooks for different parts or different sections of the work. So it is very important to make a note of those basic details of your project before you start up, because sometimes it so happens that we will start a project and take a break because of whatever reasons, pause it and take it up again after a few weeks or few months because of whatever reasons, and it should not so happen that you forgot which size you were using for that particular project. So it is very important to make a note of basic details of the project that you are using, what are the yarns that you are using, and which brand yarns or which color of yarns, because sometimes the colors are so closer that you may not notice or observe the difference so much. So it is very important to make the basic details of every project that you make. So that is tip number 9. And tip number 10 is, just a second. So most of the people would find difficult in using a magic ring. So for them I have one simple hack. Just make a slip knot as usual, like how you do. Chain 1, chain 2. So now if you want a ring and you want to make a 10 single crochet into the ring, go into the very first stitch of this. So we have chain 2. In the first chain, go ahead and make 10 single crochet. It will automatically become your ring. It doesn't work as a magic ring, but it is very convenient for those who find to make a magic ring and work into it. And it also kind of gives a very close round without any gap in the center. It will give the same effect like as you worked in the magic ring. Right, you can slip stitch into the first stitch. Right, yeah, this almost looks like how you work in the magic ring. So this is one of the hacks that would be useful for many beginners who find it to work in the magic rings. So yep. And one more last but not least tip that I follow while doing every project of mine is that go back and check for your mistakes or corrections after completing every row. So once you finish your row, see if you can observe here in this row the yellow thread is slightly peeping out here. So I've observed it right here before, right at this point of time, so I still have a chance of correcting it. But if I can pull this carrying yarn at the side like this, I can correct this. So that will help me, we can correct it that way. So it becomes very important to go back and check for your corrections after every couple of rows to save your time and effort. And also have a check on the stitch counts after every couple of rows. So that is one thing that I follow regularly on every project that I make. I make sure even if it takes little extra time, it helps me not to regret at the later stages if at all I had made mistakes. But still sometimes we might make mistakes, but it is better to be cautious. So yeah, this is the final and last tip. Hope you all enjoyed this crochet tips and hacks of mine. If you have anything more to add to this, please feel free to comment in the comment section below. And yeah, that's it for today. Hey, these are some of my favorite crochet tips and hacks that has helped me through my crochet journey, and have picked up these from my experiences and some from other fellow crocheters, and these have really helped me to keep my crochet process very smoother, and I hope at least few of these would help some of you. And yeah, if you have anything more to add to this, please feel free to share in the comment section below. And don't forget to like and share my videos if you are getting benefited from mine, and subscribe to my channel and hit on the notification button to not miss any of the future videos. Yeah, that's it for today. Take care, bye bye. See you tomorrow with one more interesting and content filled video. Bye bye, take care.